Hi everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to another kit building video. Yes, that is what we're going to do today. Now if you see these lovely colors here in front of me, it is absolutely going to be a knockoff version of a new Simple Stories line that just hit Creativation and is called Spring Farmhouse. It is simply on pre-order at this point. You can't even get it, but at the end of this video, I will have this kit in my hand to play with. Yes, excited about that. Now, if you want some other videos about building page kits, I'll have that listed below. And also, too, I will have other videos linked below where I do knockoff versions of manufacturers' collections that hit the shelves. And I want that collection, but I use my own supplies to get a knockoff version of that. You know, save some money. Because in 2019, I am absolutely on a zero spending freeze for the entire year in the scrapbooking and craft department. It's just something I want to do for myself, and so I will have those videos linked below if you want a little bit of encouragement and hand holding on the spending freeze. Yes, and even if you want to cut back, even if you're not on a spending freeze, you just want to cut back, I will show some ways that you can do that. You do not have to make a mega kit. You can absolutely feel like you're getting a kit by just pulling a few pieces of paper, a few supplies. It doesn't have to be a big kit to get the feeling of this collection. Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about. And so I want to say that one thing right off the bat. Of course, I'm in a spending freeze, so I'm already looking at what I already have before I hit the buy button because I can't hit the buy button. So one thing I wanted to show with this Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse collection is that it is absolutely almost exact replicate, is that the word? It's almost an exact copy of something that is on the market already, and it is a line by Cardabella. And when I say in a copy, I mean the theme, okay? Not the colors, nothing like that, okay? So in this Spring Farmhouse by Simple Stories, you can see that in this Cardabella line, which is Spring Market, and this just came out last year at this time, it is the exact same theme with the exact same motifs, the exact same farmhouse. It's basically the same thing, except in the Simple Stories line, there is the introduction of a robin egg blue and also yellow. But if you have this Cardabella line by Spring Market, you basically have about the same type of theme of a collection. You could just add some yellow and robin egg blue to this, and you would have basically the same type of kit. So I just wanted to bring forth that. Now for me, Cardabella is in a league of its own because of the texture and the feel and the weight of their paper. So I won't be introducing any of these into my Simple Stories knockoff kit. No, I keep my Cardabella together because I really treasure it. Okay. But I did want to say that perhaps you don't even need to look at the Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse. If you already own this, I say get this out, play with it, add in some yellow, add in some robin egg blue. There you go. You already got it covered. And you save some money in the process. Yes. Okay. Now with the Simple Stories collection, I'm going to do it a little bit different than my other knockoff kits that I have listed below, because let me see, my iPad always keeps shutting off. But because in the previous knockoff kits, I would take each paper that was in the collection and I would show you what I picked from my own stash or inventory to give me the feel of that paper. But I'm going to do it a little bit different this time because I do have some new scrapbookers on this channel, and I also have some new people that are new to building kits, and I want to make it a little bit easier for you if you want to make a knockoff version of any collection that you have that you see that you like, you don't want to spend the money. This can be done for every single collection, just using what you already have. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you want to do a knockoff version, and I want to say this right off the bat, if you are not in a spending freeze, I suggest you pick up the Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse because it is a very pretty collection. Just from what I'm seeing online, it's very pretty. You could use it for a lot of layouts. So I do not want to deter anybody from buying it. It's just some of us are on a spending freeze and we shouldn't be buying anything. And I'm one of those. I have both hands raised right now. I should not be buying anything. But I want to get the feel of this collection, meaning I want to play with this. I can't buy it, and if I did, it'd have to be 2020, may not even be available. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do so that I will feel like I'm having this collection to play with. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is show you is that if you look at the icon or the motif or the marketing piece that most manufacturers do. You will get an introduction as to what this collection is, and you can tell, of course, look at the name, Spring Farmhouse. So it has anything to do with spring, anything to do with the farmhouse look and decor, and then of course we have the addition of wood grain, and we have florals, and there you can see the colors. So right there in and of itself, just this little piece right here will tell you what the collection is all about. But with Simple Stories and Echo Park and a few other things, a few other manufacturers, you can absolutely go to where they have basically, Simple Stories calls it a basic kit, but it's just basically cardstock. And so if you look at this right here, that is the color scheme or the color palette of your entire collection with these 6 colors right here. So with anything that you pick of this color, you will get the feel. And then also too, if you go with spring motifs and you go anything with farmhouse, you have a cover. That is Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse right there. And so with the papers I'm going to show, I'm going to do it in such a way that you will see how I took the black and what I did with that, the yellow and the robin egg blue and so forth. Okay, so that is the color scheme I'm working with, and I will bring back this picture in a little bit. Okay, so let's get started, because I'm going to try not to make this so long, because, you know, we want a scrapbook, right? Okay, so I'm going to keep this here. And so when I'm looking at a collection like this, of course, the first thing I do is get the feel of what the theme is, and then also to the color scheme. And then what I will do is I will come and I will write down the motifs, or basically what you're going to see in this theme. And of course I have tin, wreaths, bicycles, vase, jars, lanterns, buckets, hearts, arrows, frames, letterboards, black script, leaves, bird's nest, flower pots. Okay, and then of course the rest of these are actual supplies, and we'll talk about those in just a little bit. So once you know the theme, you know the color scheme, and you know what motifs you're looking for, and if you have to write those down, I say do it. Sometimes what I'll do is I will print something like this, and I will just sit on the floor and go through my papers and fan them out and see what I come up with, or I just use my iPad. But the one thing I will say, when you're looking at something on screen, depending on whether it's your iPad or your phone or your desktop, don't be surprised if the colors all look different. That's just the way it is when you're looking online. And then also too, when you print things, it's going to look different than what does online. The only true way to get the colors is if you see it in person. But how am I going to do that when I can't buy it? No, so you just have to wing it, and don't worry about matchy, okay? And I'm going to talk about that more in just a minute. So let's roll up the sleeves and let's get this knockoff version of Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse. Let's get it going on. Okay, now if you were to buy this kit, I do want to say that Simple Stories has introduced something not so long ago. They have something called a collector's essential kit, and in this kit right here, it has 188 pieces. Yes, of course, most of those are stickers, but definitely look into that. That is one way to get this collection, and it's all in one kit, so definitely look at that. Okay, so we are going to start with this beautiful line, and of course, you know, I'm going to start with the black. And what I did was I started with my cardstock, and then I build up from that. So of course, you know, we have black. I'm hoping I'll keep this all in frame here. So there's black, and then I went, after I went with my color scheme, then I went with the floral, because that was exactly what is showed most in this collection. And so then I went with the floral, okay? And to me, anything is floral will work in this. Anything that feels like farmhouse, okay? And then of course there's this, definitely the buffalo plaid check, farmhouse, farmhouse, farmhouse. That's definitely the feel, isn't it? And then of course we have some black text. Of course, look at the motifs, home, farmhouse, okay. And then more of a black. It has a little bit of script in it. And then my next paper is another, just a simple black dot, and then a black crosshatch is what I call that, and then another floral. Okay, now the reason I want to talk about these florals for a minute is because if you would put this floral with this floral, you would say, oh, well, those absolutely look hideous. How are they going to work together? And the answer to that question is they won't, okay? Because I did not pull them on the intention that they will be on the same layout, okay? So when you're pulling something like this for this collection, in the Simple Stories, they have a lot of paper that has floral. Okay, I'm not going to have florals to match, so I just went with plain old floral, and then they'll match with something that's something else I picked. Okay, so that was the black. So basically what I did was I took my basic black cardstock and I just added some florals, farmhouse, and then whatever else I saw that I wanted to go with it. Okay, you could just do one cardstock and one floral, one cardstock and one plaid, one cardstock, one gingham, whatever you want to do. You can make these kits as big or as small as you want. Now this one's going to be a little bit on the bigger side because I really want this collection, but I won't buy it, and I'm not going to buy it. And the reason I'm making this so big is that by the time I'm done playing with this, probably at the end of summer, maybe early fall, I will not have the desire to buy it. And so that is the whole purpose of doing this knockoff kit. Sometimes, oh my goodness, that was the wind. Whew, that scared me. Oh, we have such terrible wind. We got terrible everything going on here right now in the Northeast. But what I was saying is, once I'm done playing with this color and this theme of the farmhouse and this color scheme, then I will not have the desire to buy it. So that means I will have achieved what I set out to do. Okay, so of course I'm just going to keep on working. Now this floral right here, tell me that doesn't look like some of this right here. Yes, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yes. Now this is by My Mind's Eye Market Street. I will give you the year if you want to know that. It was 2014. And I have a paper in here that was from 2010. That's 9 years ago. I mean, honestly. Now, if there's any of these papers that you want to know, just ask me and I will tell you what they're from. But I will tell you, this floral here is from a Michael's Recollections paper pad called Fantasy Floral. And if you can find this, has a lot of navy and pink. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, so then the next group of color we went is yellow. And again, I started with my yellow cardstock. Now, if you look over here to the far left, you're going to see where this color scheme comes into play here in a little bit. Okay, so there's my yellow. Okay, and then of course, what did I do? I went with floral, and this looks exactly like one of the papers that is in the Simple Stories line. And then this yellow striped, again, was something that was exactly the same design in the collection. And then of course, hexagon, chicken wire, whatever you want to call it. They call it the bee's knees. Yes, this is Echo Park Country Drive 2011. I call that hexagon, chicken wire, the type of thing. And then, of course, just another yellow pattern. Okay, so that is how I did my yellows. So I picked a cardstock in that color scheme and then 4 more pieces of paper. Up here at the black, I picked more. But you could just pick 2. You could pick 6. You could pick whatever you want. Yes. There are no rules in scrapbooking. No. Okay, so then the next was this robin egg blue. Now, I will tell you, I thought this robin egg blue was kind of hard to find. I either ended up going to something more into the green or the turquoise or the blue. And this came from a Hot Buy paper pad called Icicle Blues. Okay, that's where that came from. And then, of course, I went right into the floral. And this is a basic gray. Basic gray, Echo Park, we got Jen Hatfield, we got Recollections, we got a Hot Buy, we have Authentique, we got Basil, and I may absolutely have some Prima coming up. So there's my floral, and then I went right into the farmhouse look, and just look at that beautiful piece of paper. That is from Lily B, 2012, no longer available, but I know a lot of you have this beautiful gingham. And then of course the other, I went into some of this beautiful wood grain. Of course, that is totally farmhouse. Okay, and then some burlaps or canvas type feel. Okay, now this came from, this is the Prima paper. Okay, and then just some other patterns. There's more Echo Park. There's more Echo Park and Echo Park. So these are just some tonal and tone, some simple scale patterns to play with as I'm doing some layering on my pages. Okay, so then the next color group was some ivory, and I didn't pull a lot of this, but I definitely introduced it, and it's right there. And this was actually a piece of paper that looked like was in a collection. It's just script. And what did this come from? Came from Pebbles Tea Beautiful, I think is what it was. And then we have another Echo Park, because this totally reminded me of farmhouse look. Okay, so you see, even with the ivory, I only pulled 2. But if you look at the black, I pulled 3, 4, 5, 6, I pulled 7. So you can let, however many you want, let that be your guide. Okay, now with the next group, we went with this sage green, which is not an easy color to find, I don't think. Now, this is a textured, embossed cardstock, and then I went right into a floral, which is basically just leaves, okay? And then I went into a gingham or plaid, and then I went into just a tone-on-tone design, and then another, basically, this is a check pattern, basically. Now, this came from a paper studio called Terrace Blooms. Beautiful paper pad. Okay, so you see right here, I got this color scheme going on. So what's up next? Pink, pink, pink. Yes, beautiful pink. Now, in the Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse, they showed a blush pink, and that's exactly what I went with. So here's my cardstock. So again, right there, you can see right there's the color scheme. And then I went right into the floral. Okay, now this floral definitely looks farmhouse to me. And this came from a Recollections paper pad called Orange Blossom. And that is a newer paper pad. I've never seen that before. I found it on some travels probably just 4 months ago. So definitely look for that paper pad, Orange Blossoms. And then another floral. This is a Heidi Swap paper. Yes. And then look at this, a diagonal gingham. And then, let's see, where did that come from? That is a Jen Hatfield Heart of Home paper. And then, of course, another Echo Park. And would you believe that I have, I think, 3 pieces of Valentine / love paper in there. And I recently did a video that I was breaking up that entire theme in my inventory, so I would be using it all year. And right here is a prime example. I have 3 pieces of paper that came from that grouping, and I'll have that video listed below. I totally broke up that group. Okay, so that is my papers that I picked for this kit, and I wanted to show this right here. So what I did, if you look here, right there's the black, there's the yellow, there's the robin egg blue, there's the ivory, there's the green. Oh, sorry about that. And there's the blush pink right there. Okay, and so that's exactly what I did. I just pulled those colors out in cardstock, and then I picked papers that went right with the floral, because that is the heavy influence in this collection, and then anything that looked like farmhouse. That is exactly how I did this. I love doing this process. I love sitting on the floor, and I love putting these together because you can get such a variety of layouts using these papers. Okay, now I did add one more thing, because as I was saying earlier, that when I'm looking at a collection, I want to do a knockoff version of it. I will sit down and write down some of the things that I see, and it gives me a feel of what they put in the line. And so, of course, farmhouse, heavy theme, and basically we all know what farmhouse is. And so I found some other papers as I was going along that gave me the farmhouse feel. And of course, you know, we have some chicken wire, more wood grain, more wood grain, wood planks. I mean, that is farmhouse as farmhouse can be. And I think this actually came from a paper pad called Farmhouse. Yes, and it was by a Recollections paper pad at Michael's, and that was a newer paper pad. And then this letterboard is so popular right now, menu board, whatever you want to call that. And again, more chicken wire. Yes, this is Jen Hatfield Simple Life. Okay, it's called Growing Floral. Of course, this color would, this B side would work too, but I picked it for this. I don't look at my B sides when I'm picking papers. And then also too, I found this, to me, it reminded me of farmhouse or a country wedding type of thing. So yes, I put it on there. You had me at hello. Yes. I love that. Start and don't stop. Grateful for you. Yes, I'm grateful for all of you, my lovely subscribers. Okay, so I definitely went by the colors, went by the farmhouse, went by the floral, and then I definitely added in some others just because I wanted more of that farmhouse feel. I mean, just look at that. Look at all of this. I don't even know if I can get all of that in there. Oh, you know what I'll do? Is I'll put them like this. I mean, is that just not a great assortment of papers? And ask me how much I spent. nothing. I just simply went to the colors in my space. I went to, well, they were all by colors, yes. Some of these were in paper pads as well. Now, how would I find these papers if they're in paper pads? Because it doesn't take me long to do this. I don't spend a lot of time, but I certainly enjoy it, yes. So what I do is I have my paper pads here in a catalog type system, and I just have them numbered. And then I would see something that would look, oh, that might look good. See right there's that Orange Blossoms. Right there. That's that Michael's Recollection Orange Blossom paper pad. And then right here is the one that's called Farmhouse. Those are both from Michael's. And then I would just go find the one that's numbered 49 and the one that's fine 50. And right there's that paper that I picked. Right there. And where's the floral? I think that's right there's the floral I picked. So easy to do when you have your paper pads organized, and I will have that video listed below. Yes. Okay, so that is my papers when it comes to this knockoff version of a Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse. So I will pause there and come back, and we're going to simply talk about how do I pull other items for this kit. Now you can certainly tell that this is what I'm going to call a mega kit. I don't normally make kits this big, but Load is happening right now, which stands for Leo Today. It's an event that happens a couple times a year, and having this kit will be wonderful to play with, and I will play with this from May and probably well into the summer. So it's a little bit of a bigger kit than I normally do. But again, you can make this as big or as small as you want. You can go mega or you can go home. Absolutely. Okay, so hold on. I will get these papers in an order, and I will come back and we're going to start talking about alphas and then tools and embellishments. Okay, hang on. Okay, so let's keep on playing with our knockoff version of this beautiful Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse. Yes, and so one other thing I wanted to say when it comes to papers, don't forget to look at your specialty papers and see what you have that may fit into this knockoff version. And for me, I found something, they call it hexagons, but to me it could be chicken wire, and so I'm absolutely going to put this in. My kit is by Jelly Bean Soup, and it is, they call them placemats, but it's just a die cut piece of 12 12. And then also too, don't forget to look at your 6x6 paper pads and see if you have just one pad that may go along with this for more options. And I knew when I saw this, it made me think of this My Mind's Eye Pretty Things. And you know, it's so funny that recently I saw on some Tuesday morning hauls that this collection was there. I can't believe this. I think this was what, 2014? Yes, 2014. And so some of these colors are not in this Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse, but some of these absolutely are. And so it just made me think of it. And so when you're looking at a paper pad, don't worry that you're looking for exact. You're looking for more mood and feel. And this is definitely floral, farmhouse, rustic, country home. Yes. Yes, we'll start breaking out in John Denver's song here in just a minute. Yes. Look at that. Just beautiful. And then also, look how beautiful those would go. You have to remember too that the fun part of something like this is that there may be something in this paper pad that, where was it? That you do not have the color, but you never know what this might, the addition of the color in this paper pad may bring to your kit. So don't worry about everything being matchy-matchy, 100% not going to work. And then also too, do not forget when you're working with a collection and doing a knockoff version, look at your specialty papers and then also to some of your textures. So of course I put in some cork and some corrugated of that sage green and then burlap. Okay, so don't forget textures when you're doing mood and feel and doing a knockoff version. I'm putting all of those in there. Okay, and I think that as far as all the paper, that is what we're going to do, because they had a 6x8 paper pad and they're now coming in at $7.49. So that means that 6x8 paper pads went up 50 cents this go around. Okay, so don't forget to add in specialty textures. 6x6 pad just never ends. No, so I counted. And of course, you know, I had 6 cardstocks, which is what was showed in the Spring Farmhouse. And then I had 34 pieces of pattern paper. So right there, if I was to buy this, which I probably wouldn't, that would be $40 right there. Close to $40. And of course, you add in this is $1.79, sometimes $1.99 now. And then a 6x6 paper pad, that's $5.99. Okay, so yes, it's racking up pretty quick, but I haven't spent a penny. No, love doing knockoff versions. Yes. And again, I will have videos linked below because in my other knockoff versions, my knockoff kits, I showed different ways how I did that. This is just a quick way to do it. Okay, so now let's talk about alphas because right here is the color scheme. Okay, and so what I did was I went to my thicker bin, which was what I do right off the bat, and I went, what did I have in black? Okay, and what I had was something that reminded me of those letterboards that are real popular right now, and so that is the font that I picked in black. And then I spied this one. It just reminds me, if it's a houndstooth, but it kind of gave me that farmhouse feel. Okay, and then I didn't have anything in the yellow. I didn't find anything in the robin egg blue. I didn't find anything in this well, in the ivory, but I did find something in the sage. Okay, and so then I did find something in white. That definitely, of course, you know, look at the background of that. Definitely farmhouse look. And then I picked, again, a texture of burlap and then this wood grain. So right there are 4. You know, we don't even want to add up how much that would cost, but who normally would buy 6 thicker packs at one time? Well, unless you're Tuesday morning, okay. But nobody normally buys 6 packs when you're buying a collection. You know, you don't buy 6-pack of thicker. But that is just what caught my eye. Again, I spent just a few minutes on this. And then when I pick out other alphas, I look to see what color I didn't have. And so, of course, you know, I didn't have any yellow, so I added this October afternoon. I didn't have any robin egg blue, but this is kind of something like that. I found more in that sage green. And then, of course, I found this in this Daily Flash, which love these by October afternoon. Strawberry Ice Cream is the name of that. Just beautiful, okay? So whatever I couldn't find in the thickers, I made up for in a medium-sized alpha. Now, I didn't pick any small alphas because I'm trying to not do so many small items when I'm working with a kit. And the reason that is because right now I'm trying to use my Rascog as a project planner on wheels, and so I don't try to get too many small items, but I'll talk more about that down the road when I see how that works. But again, there's my colors, there's my alphas. Plenty of choices. I didn't have to pick this many, but I wanted to. Yes, okay. So I will show you how I will be packaging that all up. And so I'm going to keep this here as a color scheme. And so then I think what I'm going to do now is we're going to talk about tools for a minute. Okay, now in the Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse, what they showed for a tool is they absolutely had a stamp set coming in at $15 and then a die set, of course, to match that for $20. Well, I'm not going to buy neither because I can't, but I'm certainly going to find something that would give me the look and the mood and feel. So what do we have? Of course, we have the boots. I don't know if I could use that on a lot of pages, okay? But I do want a pair of those boots for gardening. I am on the search for that. But we have birds and nest and that black script. We have that. Florals, of course, some cactus, mugs, vases, all of that farmhouse, and also too some tags and some frames. And so that is what I decided to do when I looked at my stamps. Now, I will tell you that not all of these stamps, because how many do I have here? I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 stamp sets here, but not all of these will be going in my kit. And I will absolutely be putting these, one of these with my kit because I'm going to be playing with it right away. Okay, so the first thing you can do is definitely look for something that is floral, and we have mason jars. Hello, that's farmhouse, yes. And then, of course, we had more florals, and then we get into some greenery with the leaves. And then you could definitely go in something that's more icons. These things all have to do with home. This is from my mind's eye. I'm not sure who this is by. This is by Hampton Arts, okay? This is one of my favorite floral stamps ever to do cards. I just love that, okay? And so you could look for the florals, you could look for the leaves, you could find things that remind you of home. And again, here's more of that mason jar, home kitchen feel. You could definitely do that. And then I saw this, and this is by Teresa Collins. And it looked like it had that frame, and it had the bee and floral, and just a little bit of the 5 cents. And this looked like a little bit of a graph. I just thought it just gave you that feel of a little bit of everything. Now, I'm sure that's French, but I don't know what that means. Okay, and then, of course, I found this one, too. This is by My Mind's Eye. And look what this one has. Florals and a frame and hello, which was absolutely the same thing, same sentiment that was on the Simple Stories, and then some of these decorative elements, okay? So you could go with something just floral, or something just farmhouse, just wreaths and leaves and flowers. And then of course there's more, and this caught my eye because of the flower pots and the butterflies, and there's a frog and a birdhouse and all these florals and the bird, because that's exactly what was in the collection. Okay, and then of course chicken wire. Yes, there's my chicken wire stamp. Okay, so I definitely think I'm going to be using the chicken wire. And which other one I think I'm going to go with? Oh man, this is hard. Okay, so when I'm doing something like this and I'm deciding which one, okay, I decide which one I don't want. I don't want this one. I don't want this one. I don't want this one. Okay, so it's down to this, and this one's a little bit too big for me. Oh, I don't know. Those florals. Oh man, and then it's got a frame and it's got a heart. Okay, this one, no. Okay, come on, I got to pick one of these. Let's make a quick decision. That's a beautiful floral. That's a beautiful leaf. Well, no, we'll pass that. Okay, which one? Which one? Okay, come on. That one. Okay, see? Yeah, not hard. Because I love this. I love the mason jar, the florals, and these two frames, and then the heart, and then these leaves. It had a little bit of everything, along with my chicken wire. So those are the two stamps that I'm going to use. And I'm probably getting a glare, but that's okay. We don't care about the glare. No. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to talk about is that they had dies that went along with that stamp, but I don't have that. Okay, so what do I do for dies? Well, I'm going to pull out my inventory binder, and I want to show you this process of how I go and pick out a die when I'm playing with a kit, building a kit, doing a knockoff kit. Okay, so my dies here are on the back. Okay. Of course, you know, I went right past that slice really quick. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to play with an electronic cutter. But, so what I will do here is, this is my dies. I will have a video linked below if you haven't been introduced to an inventory binder. A lot of us like this type of thing to help us quickly see what we have for dies, and I'll have that video linked below. So I'm looking for anything very, very fast that reminds me of farmhouse, and I don't spend a lot of time. I don't spend a lot of time doing this. So I'm just looking. Of course, there's that prima doily. Yes, love. One of my favorite dies in the whole wide world, okay, is that prima doily. It's a pineapple doily. Okay, nothing is catching my eye other than that doily, okay. Of course, there's more florals. I definitely could get that. That might be fun. Okay, so what I will do here, is that a piece of paper? Is that when I'm looking through this, I will take a piece of paper and I will write down my numbers, and then I will pull them. So 26 is a contender. Okay, and nothing else, nothing else. So you're seeing my entire dies right here. Okay, of course, this is fun. This is fun. Oh, make a quick decision. 36, question mark. I don't know. Okay, I just do it really quick. No, 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 no. Yeah. But see, I picked out, okay, 46. Oh, 26, 36, 46. Well, how would that ever work out that way? Oh, and there's chicken wire, 48. Okay, so I'm definitely doing the chicken wire here at 48. I'm going to be pulling that. Oh, well, now we got some more. Oh, there's the birds. Oh, that would be cute. But, you know, oh, I don't know. That would be nice, wouldn't it? It's got, yeah, okay, 54. Okay. So, of course, you know, and there's that wreath. I love that wreath. And, of course, that looks good. Okay, long border dies, and I know there is a Tim Holtz. Yes, okay. Oh, but this would be nice for the farmhouse. Okay, come on, we can't spend a lot of time. But this is my process, and someone had asked me if I could show how I do this, and this is all just alphas here, and that is what I do. I just open this up, look at the ones that catch my eye right off the bat. Okay, I'm going to give it a second look. 54, yes. 48, chicken wire, have to. 46. Okay, now keep in mind that I am playing with this. 36, that's going off the list. I'm going to be playing with this as like probably tomorrow, and 26. So I'm going to pick those 4 dies, and they are going to go right in my kit. And so, of course, when I'm done filming, I will absolutely go pull those. It'll only take me a minute. Okay, and then I decided, well, let's do an embossing folder, okay, because this is a bigger kit. I'm going to play with it, and this is something I want to buy, this Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse, so let's just start playing with it. So here are my embossing folders, and so then I looked through them, and I already did this ahead of time, but I wanted to show the die process, and I absolutely ended up with two dies, or I'm sorry, two embossing folders. And which two are they? Well, did I lose them? I think, no, here they are. So I ended up going with, of course, they call it honeycomb. I call it chicken wire, same thing. Honeycomb, chicken wire, looks like the same. And then this is something that was in my stocking for Christmas. Now this is one honkin' Tim Holtz embossing folder. I mean, it feels like a slab of wood. It is mega. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I have been playing with it, and I will put it in this kit, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It is, I mean, that is a mega embossing folder. It's supposed to be a 3D wood grain, okay? So those are the two I picked, okay? And then, of course, what other tool could you do, okay? You could absolutely do any tool you want in your kits, of course, you know, okay? But those are the ones I picked. Oh, I might as well just leave them here. I'll just leave them here, okay? So we have them. And then, of course, punches is the other thing. Okay, so my punches are in front, and of course, I have a video listed for that below about organizing punches. And this is something that I really worked hard at getting organized so I could access them easily. And this is the prime example because I'm sitting down. Right there's a mason jar if I wanted that. And so, of course, I absolutely looked at my edge punches to give me a little bit more to play with. And I ended up going with two. And one of them is this one right here. It's this great big long leaf stem. It's a Martha Stewart. Look at that. That is mega. And then the other one I picked was a picket fence. Why not? We're talking about farmhouse. So again, that's a Martha Stewart punch. Of course, that doesn't fold, but these two punches are going in with my kit. And again, I'll show you at the end how I'm going to keep these housed on my Rascog and see how it works, okay? I'm giving my Rascog one last chance, or else that puppy is out of here. Yes, I'm giving it, I'm considering it my project planner on wheels, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so those are my punches. Those are my embossing folders. Okay, had two of them, and then my stamps. And of course, I probably should, I only try to pick two of each tool, but with those dies, I just couldn't decide. Maybe when I pull them, I will just kind of scale back to two, okay? But I don't try to do more than two per kit. And a lot of times I will just make a listing, and then when I get the kit out, then I just simply pull it at the time. But I'm going to be playing with this probably tomorrow, so I'm pulling them out now. Okay, so now let's come back, and we're going to talk about embellishments and how you can get the mood and feel of this Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse with what you may already own. Okay, hold on. Okay, so now let's talk about embellishments, the fun stuff when you're doing a knockoff kit. How do you go about that? Well, definitely, remember I had shared that list, I have it right here, of all the different things, of all the different motifs that I found in this spring farmhouse. And so I just wrote that all down. And so then I would look for those type of images and motifs when I'm pulling out embellishments. And so, of course, then look at the type of embellishments they have. And again, I did that list here. I put border stickers, tabs, enamel dots, washi tape, paper clips, die cuts, and colored cardstock, things like that. So then I basically went and followed the same thing as far as the type of supplies and then what are the motifs I was looking for. And so you can see there's washi tape, paper clips, and of course the heavy influence of floral, anything to do with spring, anything to do with farmhouse, you're covered. Okay, so I wanted to show what I did for this knockoff version, okay? And so I'm kind of going to go big to small, and there is my color scheme. There is the Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse as far as what they included, okay? And so then I just found anything that was going to give me the feel of this type of collection. Now, also, the first thing you can do, since this is a Simple Stories line that you want to do a knockoff, go and look at what other Simple Stories product you have, because sometimes, well, most of the time, companies will keep in that same color hue as far as when they're building colors and building collections. So, of course, in the Simple Stories Bliss, what do you have? You have the birds, you have that black, of course, and the rain boots, and the watering can, okay? And so, and of course, that black script. That's all what is found in this spring farmhouse. And then, of course, here is a Pebbles sticker sheet, and of course, look at that. That is all farmhouse: tin can, mason jar, flower pots, floral, and of course there's that looks exactly like that paper I just put in there. Absolutely. Rocking chairs, bird's nest. Again, all back to farmhouse. And again, Jen Hatfield. And I think if you're wanting to look for farmhouse, go ahead and look at any of your Jen Hatfield papers. You're going to see that influence of the birds and the floral and that pink, that blush pink. Yes. And of course, the rain boots. Okay. I think I need to do a page about rain boots. And then of course, anything that has to do with the farmhouse. And so I have these Chamel, I don't even know, what are they called? Would you call them, they're wood veneer, but they're so long. Wood banners, I guess. Okay. And so that came out a few years ago, and I haven't even opened that up, but I thought that would be a fun addition. And then, of course, some more Jen Hatfield, only because of the colors of the wood grain and definitely the farmhouse look right there. So that's why I picked that. Okay. So again, another different collections. And then I found some October Afternoons, this 5 and dime, which was because of the colors. Now, of course, we'd say this a lot when we're building kits. Do not worry that every color that's in here is here, and that there is colors here that's not in the collection. It just is not going to work that way. Don't think about it. But the green and the blush pink and that robin egg blue and the craft, all of that, okay? And you never know when you're playing with the kit where these additional colors will come in and be handy. And of course, there's some texture, burlap bows, burlap flowers. Now, this was considered a fall product. No, absolutely. That's farmhouse. And then I saw this, and I wanted to show this because this is my mind's eye. This is a brad pack, but this has to do with wedding. But look what was on there: bicycles, and then this blush pink, and also to this black. So again, some of these will be perfect for the farmhouse feel. Yes. And then of course I had more Simple Stories of these sticker packs, and only because of the mason jars and the birds and the bicycles and that black script, which Simple Stories is known for. So I just pulled both of these because I wanted to show that definitely look at the Simple Story products you have if you're wanting to do a knockoff version of this Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse. And that goes with saying if you're doing an Echo Park knockoff, look at the Echo Park papers and supplies you already have. And then what else do I have? And then I have more Simple Stories, and I only picked this, well, also too because of the color and then of the motif of the flowers and the flower pots and the house and the yellow and all that. Even though this is the Domestic Bliss line, a lot of these will work fine. And then also too, I found these. And of course I had that robin egg blue, and that's just simply, that's the only reason why I picked it, was the robin egg blue. Of course, some of that can be used on any type of page. Okay, and then what else did I find? I found these honkin', and I'm talking honkin', cork letters. I have no idea where. I think they're crate paper. If someone knows, list below. But look how big these are, and these are all cork, and I think that is definitely farmhouse. And I got a whole bag of them, so that is going in the kit. And then I have, let's talk about border stickers. Okay, so I just went through my border stickers, and I get these very, very quickly because I organize these. One day I finally figured it out, and I will have that video linked below. And I just simply pulled border stickers, and some of these are the toppers of my papers that came out of my paper pad. And again, just the colors and the farmhouse feel. That's all I did for my border stickers. I'll keep this here because this is my inspiration. Of course, there's my colored cardstock. But I really, really like these cork. I'm anxious to see how these will land on a page. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and then washi. Now, I will be honest and tell you I pulled way too many washi, but I couldn't decide. And if you've been watching any of my videos, I have been playing with washi like nobody's business. So I didn't care that I pulled a lot. But again, I went with that same color scheme. You can see there's the black, the green, the yellow, the blue, or the pink, and that robin egg blue, and there's the wood grain, and I could have been done with that, but no, I added this because I thought that definitely looked like farmhouse. And then what else did I have? I found this, definitely, and I'll just keep on going. And there's that robin egg blue again, and here's a black little polka dot, and then I found a fabric washi tape, and I thought that really went with the farmhouse feel. So again, I just did that. So again, this is way too much washi for this kit. No, let me rephrase that. That's a lot of washi for this kit, but you can pick as many as you want, or you can just pick one roll. I have fun playing with this because I no longer just use it as washi tape, okay? And hopefully you'll see more about that coming up. And then what else did I do? Okay, so in this Simple Stories, you can tell that there was definitely a certain type of die cut, and they had to do with the farmhouse. And I knew that I had something like this, so I pulled out my die cut book, okay? And I have it marked here because I knew I had this. And so I will just make a reference, is that I have this die cut set right here. And let's see where it starts. Right here. And tell me that this isn't all farmhouse. Yes, that's all farmhouse, 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 okay? And farmhouse, okay? So that definitely is going to go with this collection. There's that bicycle, there's the floral, there's the tin. All of that is, and I think this was Jen Hatfield. Yes, I think this was Jen Hatfield. And then I have another one, okay? Is, again, more Jen Hatfield. The boots, that blush pink, the florals. And I think that's just two right there. I think. Yeah, I'm right there. So, of course, I have the stickers to go with it. So, again, lots of options. And I didn't have to spend a single penny. I mean, isn't that wonderful? Okay. And then I have one more little grouping here. Okay. And that is just little bits and bobs as I was going through my room. Things that stuck out at me, of course, was anything to do with farmhouse, and then again my color scheme. And I found some bag here that had to do with that advertising. I thought advertising piece, again, definitely the farmhouse country feel. And I found some doilies that I had made with my We Are Memory Keepers Mini 8 punches in the colors, and then of course actual doilies, and then of course something I have been really trying to focus on in 2019, and that is journaling cards and cut aparts, all of these. And of course there's some tags in here too, but this is, oh, there's a little bag and there's some tags, okay? And so this is something that I've been trying to work on. So every time I'm doing a kit, I am definitely pulling these journaling cards. So, and then of course with that, I have tags, and these are just things that stuck out at me very quickly. More of the small doilies, and then more little tags and a frame. And then of course, what is the finishing touch? Well, enamel dots. Now, enamel dots and brads for me is definitely a finishing touch. Here is wood grain enamel dots. Yes, sign me up. Yes, these are by my mind's eye. And so, when it comes to enamel dots, you can or cannot put it in your kit. It's totally up to you. Most of us just have a bin of enamel dots, so you don't have to put them in a kit. But if you want to put them in, now for me, I couldn't find this color scheme in one pack, so I just found a couple, threw them in, okay, along with some wood grain, okay? And then one more thing is that as I was looking at what Simple Stories included in their kit here, little bits and bobs. Now, mind you, I'm going to be playing with this kit for probably 5, 6 months, maybe 7 months. So that's why this is on a little bit on the mega side, is that I absolutely added some brads. And then of course I got that wood veneer in. Okay, and I just things that stuck out at me very, very quickly. And so how long did it take me to put this whole kit together? I don't time it, but one time I'll come and do the cardstock, and then the next time I do the pattern paper, and then the next time I do my alphas, and then stickers and things like that, and then I do small things like this. So it's totally something I don't spend a lot of time with, but I do it in small bites, if that makes sense. So there's my brads. There are some of that blush pink that I didn't have a lot of anything else, some yellow twine. You know I had to put brads in there. And then there's wood veneer, and I just put a sampling of wood veneer that reminded me of what Simple Stories had. The birds and the leaves and the floral and that hello and today, things like that, and arrows. And then of course, do you remember these Making Memories metal tiles? Do you remember these? This was in my brown, and I thought, you know, again, with all that letterboard look, I thought, why not? Now, this is old school. This is like 2006. You know, that's 13 years ago, but it's going to look good today. Yes. And then again, some more metal pieces that I think look more farmhouse. I'm going to stick this butterfly in there. Yes, I'm going to do that. And then I think I'm looking around. That is all I have. Of course, I have this little sticker that's floating around. That is what I have for my kit. And again, it is a mega kit, but I am in love with this kit. Now, I will tell you, and I think I said this earlier, the reason I made this bigger is that I want to play with it for a while and then kind of be tired of it, so I do not have the onesies when it comes time to when I can actually go buy something. And so how much did I save? Well, it's over $50. I mean, I don't even know how to add up because I had 6 cardstocks and 34 pattern paper. Well, that's $40. So all this washi, this, that, all this stuff was everything I already owned. It's just that I took it from where it was and put it in a new color combination. That's all I simply did. And that is what a knockoff version really is that you're taking a cue from the manufacturer, go by the direction that they did for a theme, and then you take supplies you already own and pair it up and make one big kit. Okay? Again, this is a mega kit. I don't usually make them this big, but of course, you know, when I'm doing a knockoff kit, I like to show options so that'll give you some ideas. You do not have to go, do I have a black floral? Do I have a pink gingham? Do I have a black buffalo check? You can just get a, what do I want to say, a feel. Just a feel of the colors, a feel of the motifs, and just a sampling of it. It doesn't have to be exact, and it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. Okay? So that is what I have for a knockoff kit. Love it, love it, love it. I mean, there are a lot of options. And I will start to be playing with this, and load is happening right now, so I don't know what I'm going to be inspired to use this for, but you'll see this coming up. I'm going to be playing with it for several months. And again, there will be videos listed below for more knockoff kits, and I do that a little bit different than I did this one. I absolutely paired up papers from the collection to the papers I picked. But this one, I just wanted to give an easier way. Just go by colors, just go by motifs, go by design, and use what you already have. Yes, and save yourself some jingle. Yes, absolutely. I mean, now how will I package this up? Well, all these small pieces are going to go in this little Iris 4x6 photo case, and I will keep it that way. Some of these will be in bags, and then the rest of these embellishments are going to be in this, just this basket or bin, whatever, and this is going to sit in my Rascog along with my paper. That's how simple it's going to be, because I'm going to keep this kit at hand so I can play with it, and then I will feel like I just got some new creativation supplies. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. So if there is a collection kit that you have your eye on, it's on your wish list, I really encourage you to look around at what you may already have and then put some things together as far as color, definitely a theme, and see what you come up with using your own supplies and making your own knockoff version of what a manufacturer did. You can do this with simply anything that you find, okay? You can even, if you see an embellishment pack, because I see they're going up in price, Kaiser Craft die cuts are now $6.99 a pack. That's a little ouch. And so look at what you already have, and maybe you won't have that desire or hitting that buy button so often. Yes, okay. So that is all I have for today at RTS. I hope you enjoyed this knockoff kit. I hope the video didn't get too long, but this is all fun. Yes, putting together a kit. I love this color combination than Simple Stories did. And again, if you're not on a spending freeze, if you're not cutting back, definitely go to a cherry on top, go to Scrapbook Generations, go to scrapbook.com, and look for the Simple Stories Spring Farmhouse, and see if you maybe, instead of spending the money, maybe you can make your own. Okay, that's all I have for today. Come back to RTS, because you never know what we're going to do. Bye.